Here are the National Collegiate Hockey Conference arenas. Starting off with Robson Arena, Colorado College Tigers. Despite having had a hockey program since the late 1930s, this arena, built in 2021, is the first time they've actually had an on-campus home, and it's an impressive one. Inside, there's plenty of natural light let in through the windows that wrap their way around the entire concourse, which also allows for some views of the nearby mountains. Speaking of which, sort of looks like the video board up there has its own little mountains. Nice touch. Staying in Colorado, we have Magnus Arena, home to the Denver Pioneers. Despite not being as new as the last one, it certainly has a more spectacular exterior. Most notably this 215 foot or 66 meter tall bell tower, which not only looks great, but it must help people locate the venue from afar. The interior doesn't let it down either. I love the combination of the internal brickwork with these padded red seats, as well as the red framework up top. It just has a much warmer feel to it than the last one. Goggin Ice Center, Miami Redhawks. As I learned from the comments last time I mentioned this school, it actually predates Miami, Florida by a long way. It's named after the Miami or Miami tribe who are native to Ohio. The team was known as the Miami Redskins up until the late 90s, but Nestle sent a cease and desist. Years later, they got a taste of their own medicine. That's a joke for the 12 Australians watching. Anyway, this seems to be yet another fantastic venue, with plenty of internal brickwork once more. AMSOIL Arena, Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. For a minute I was thinking that it was called AMSOIL Arena, but then I saw that they have color-coded it for our convenience. Also, a company that sells soil is not likely to have that kind of money to spare to pay to have their name on an arena. Soil is dirt cheap, you see. And oil is expensive because it's very useful for cooking and seasoning. The layout in here seems to be particularly intimate, especially how the upper tier sort of overhangs the lower. Ralph Engelstad Arena, North Dakota Fighting Hawks. There's actually a Ralph Engelstad Arena in Minnesota as well. He was a casino owner who donated the $100 million or so that it cost to build this arena. He passed away just a year after it opened. The arena's most impressive feature didn't actually come from that money. It's this, the largest video board in the conference, which was a 2019 edition. I suppose it's fitting that it has the biggest one, given that it's comfortably the largest arena in the conference. Although, just a few years ago, the Omaha Mavericks were playing at much larger arenas, but they were too big and they had to share them with other teams. So the Mavericks built their own house, Baxter Arena, in 2015, complete with their logo on the exterior. They do of course still have to share it with the school's basketball and volleyball teams, but that doesn't really count. Inside, the layout consists of 2 tiers of seating on 3 sides, and some premium seating and press seating in place of a proper upper tier on the other side. It's rather nice overall. Brooks Center, St. Cloud State Huskies. This place is named after Herb Brooks, coach of the famous underdog USA team that upset the Soviets to go through to the final of the 1980 Winter Olympics. Perhaps I need to brush up on my history, but I believe that was the event that led to the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Yeah? The arena where that game took place is also named after Herb Brooks. As for this one, well, it has an attached recreational rink like the last one, and just last year they replaced these old analog scoreboards with modern video boards. Lawson Arena, home of the Western Michigan Broncos, is the oldest and probably the most lackluster arena in the conference. The interior is made up of a single tier of bench seating throughout, and there isn't any video board to speak of, just an old school scoreboard. But it makes up for that by being situated in a town called Kalamazoo. Great name. Also, it misses out on having the smallest capacity by a couple of dozen or so seats, so I guess that's a plus. And those were the NCHC arenas. Time to pick a favourite. It was a toss-up between three, but I've got to go with Magnus Arena. With its grandiose exterior and cozy interior, it's got it all. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing, and as always, thanks for watching, have a good one.